Hey, everybody. Welcome to another edition of the Boon of Wireless Podcast. I'm Jon Horovitz, founder and president of Atrium Unlimited Consulting, coming to you, as always, high above the streets in northern New Jersey at ANJ Media. Yes, New Jersey. As if the driving situation in Jersey wasn't bad enough, there's this lovely New Jersey creation called the jug handle. In a recent article, a question was asked, what is a jug handle? Well, the short answer is that it's part of the plan to turn New Jersey into hell. The long answer is that it's a traffic ramp on the right side of the road that enables you to turn left. Yeah, you heard that correctly. If you want to make a simple left turn, you have to go to the right, swing around, and then cross the highway and eventually make your left turn. Basically, you can't turn left in New Jersey without losing your mind. However, us New Jerseyans do enjoy watching tourists be tortured by this little invention. Andrew, I'm sure you have had some fun with jug handles. By the way, Andrew, did you have a nice Labor Day weekend?
I did, John.
It's good to see you.
It's good to be seen.
All right. Did you ever have fun with jug handles or not?
Once. It was exciting.
And did anything happen?
I got to turn right.
Instead of left. Okay, that's Andrew. He's still getting back from vacation, I guess. Okay. Hey, Andrew, you know where you don't get tortured?
Where, John?
At Consumer Cellular. Yes, the Boon of Wireless, brought to you by Consumer Cellular. Are you a retailer, affinity group, or an influencer with a loyal following? Consumer Cellular recently announced that they have launched their own MVNE, or enabler, in the mobile virtual network space. Introducing Enabler IQ. And to be clear, this is in addition to their core business, not a replacement. Personally speaking, I've dealt with a lot of enablers, and sometimes it can be very frustrating and an intimidating process to get up and running. With Enabler IQ, Consumer Cellular is bringing 30 plus years of experience and know-how as the most awarded wireless carrier, period. And like their 4.3 million customers, your company will get access to the same fast and reliable 5G and LTE networks. Leave all the back-end stuff to the pros. Enabler IQ provides full supply chain capabilities, comprehensive back-end operations, and business reporting, plus advanced AI capabilities to streamline MVNO onboarding, automate operations, and deliver a personalized customer experience. So visit enableriq.com or email the team at info@enableriq.com and learn more about setting up your own MVNO with Consumer Cellular's NVNE offering. Our guest today is the Vice President of Sales for ShiftLab, a retail performance platform featuring sales-based scheduling, smart timekeeping, and real-time data to help retailers optimize their teams and help to increase profits. Ryan Esteb provides us by leveraging data from point of sale, traffic, and HR systems to automate scheduling, ensure compliance, and deliver real-time insights that improve both profitability and employee experience. His focus is on helping organizations streamline operations, reduce labor waste, and drive measurable ROI through technology. Ryan comes to us today from Avon, Indiana, and with his wife, Jessica, they have two sons who are both playing competitive soccer, travel soccer. That means most weekends are spent on the sidelines of tournaments and practices, balancing family, career, and the constant pace of growth. We've all been there, and I'm sure, like me, Ryan was yelling at the officials. All right. Please join me in welcoming to the broadcast, Ryan Esteb. Ryan, how are you?
I am doing well, John. Thanks for having me today.
Well, great. It's good to have you here from Indiana, and thank you for taking time out of your busy schedule to join the Boon of Wireless today. So let's get started. Please tell our listeners and viewers a little bit about ShiftLab.
The thought behind ShiftLab was we didn't want to just build another tool. We wanted to build a system that honestly we wish we had when we worked in the retail space. So that's kind of why ShiftLab resonates so deeply. So, you know, what makes ShiftLab important is, we want to put the right people in the right place at the right time. So like you mentioned, we use the sales, traffic, and compliance data to build smarter schedules. So, like I mentioned, we've all lived it. Our founder was a part-time sales associate and worked his way up to become a VP of analytics. And then, our VP of operations ran a lot of prepaid doors throughout his career. I worked for Singular, so I'm going to go ahead and date myself a bit there. So we sat in those seats using these manual tools. So we really wanted to build something that based off of those real experiences. So I think that's kind of why ShiftLab is resonating so well with the operators.
And when you say the people that you're scheduling, is this people in the retail location? Is this people in call centers? All the above? What else?
Our main focus when we initially started was scheduling hourly associates that were out on the sales floor, just making sure we're helping capitalize on the opportunities that come through the door. But since then, we've kind of grown. So we support call centers. We can support any retail environment. So branching outside of wireless, but definitely our sweet spot was started in wireless.
Okay, we've all lived through the scheduling nightmares of employees. Whether you're a carrier with their stores or an MVNO, or you own 5 stores or 500 or 3,000 stores, and many, many more people are facing these challenges. What was the aha moment for your company that said, hey, we have a business here?
I think it really clicked when we realized how much time, managers were spending trying to guess the right schedule. I can remember back in my retail life, staring at spreadsheets, staring at, power hours, staring at hot zones, just trying to understand, am I doing this right? The first time that we actually pulled in some sales data with traffic data and automated, the process, we saw a night and day difference. Profits went up, downtime went down, employees were happier because they're there when the customers are there. So that's when we kind of realized we weren't just solving a nuisance, we were unlocking something bigger.
And when you started having your first meetings with some of the retailers, I'm sure you started out with a guy that owned 1 or 2 stores, and then where you are today, supporting thousands of retail locations. How were you received? How was ShiftLab received by the senior management of these companies that you went to?
We were met with a lot of skepticism. Scheduling wasn't really seen as a lever for profit. It was more of just a maintenance or a chore. But because we've worked in that environment ourselves, we were able to speak the language and get some credibility and get them to kind of understand our vision. But once they finally understood the reality of trying to meet those staffing rules while always chasing a sales goal, we started showing some outcomes. So then it wasn't so much another system they had to babysit. It was more of hey, there's real money here and real time that are being left on the table by this profit lever that we haven't really touched.
And what were some of I know you were educating them, but as far as for your company, what were some of the learnings that you found when first trying to gain traction with these retailers?
The blanket approach doesn't work. There's thousands of dealers under thousands of brands, and they all operate just subtly different. Some folks want to maximize a certain KPI, others want to do something else. So just creating some flexibility to give people the ability to kind of tweak our system to how they wanted it to work is something that we've really, we love to develop. We listen. So if someone comes to us and has an idea, we're happy to entertain it.
What type of data do you collect, and how do you actually collect it so you can present it back to the retailer and say, hey, look, here's what happened? We
have a lot of partnerships out there. We partner with a lot of point of sale systems to gather sales data. We partner with a lot of traffic counting systems to pull in traffic data. We can do integrations. We can do simple file delivery. We never want to be a duplicate system of entry for the retailer. They have enough on their plate. So typically we can set up a couple feeds. They don't have to touch it again. And then we take everybody through a settings review. You tell us how you want the system to work, and we push it out to the field. So your managers are simply clicking a button, building a sales optimized schedule that is customer focused, and they're back on the sales floor in 10 to 20 seconds coaching and developing the next line.
And when you present this to the retailer, the success, or maybe it's self-serve, what are they looking for results when they go, hey, Ryan, we're glad we listened to you? Are they looking at employee turnover, or customer or employee satisfaction, hopefully an increase in sales and revenue? What are some of the points that you say, hey, look, we told you this would work. Look what happened. So
we typically hang our hat on a few different KPIs. So we love to see the profit number increase. We look to reduce downtime from just wasted labor. And then, we also like to see that customer satisfaction score. If you are working in a 3-person store and someone takes a break at the wrong time, you've cut your guest experience in half. So just making sure that people are, taking breaks appropriately. So yeah, those are kind of the main metrics that we look for. But the other things are, break compliance. Are we following state by state rules? So, we want to keep operators out of cases where, break and time theft, things like that. So those are some other areas that we like to help with as well.
Can you share if you want to mention the retailer, fine. If not, that's fine. But can you share with us a specific success story or one or two?
One of our best use cases is probably from one of our best customers that came to us, and they had a few pain points. So GP Mobile, they're one of the largest T-Mobile retailers, nearly 500 stores. Before ShiftLab, every manager was using their own way of scheduling, didn't always line up with the budget or the strategy. So they plugged ShiftLab in, started forecasting demand with our machine learning, which was about 95% accurate, and they could adjust their budgets in real time. So in their very first month, they saw a $7 lift in profit per labor hour. So it was pretty massive within the first 30 days. Josh Davis, their COO, he's quoted as saying ShiftLab brings strategy and scheduling together. And that's pretty much what we want to do. We want to just take the mindset of senior leadership, put it into the platform, and let the management team just use automation to ensure those things are happening.
Was there any pushback from, a lot of times great ideas are formulated at the headquarter level, and then when it gets pushed out to the field, we all went through it. No, that's nice, but we'll do it my way. This works for me and my story. Was there any pushback from the field? Oh, yeah, here's another thing I got to look at every day.
Honestly, we've not cracked the nut on how to figure this out yet, but we're working towards it, how we're going to measure employee engagement, because our tool is so user friendly, and it gives just managers the information they need in real time that they can make these quick decisions. It's not something they have to go babysit in the back. They can pull it up on their phone, their iPad, their computer, whatever, take a look at the real-time dashboard and say, okay, sales are this, labor's that, traffic's this, let me make some adjustments. So honestly, we've had a lot of engagement and honestly happier employees.
Has there been a situation, and I'm sure the answer is no, where you've rolled out a program and it hasn't performed up to the expectations of both you and the client?
Yeah, I think early on we had a couple, as we were still kind of learning, a couple industries that we tried that, weren't necessarily performance-based retail. So I think our system was a little bit over the top for what they were looking for. So those couple use cases that we've had, we were just seeing if it would work for them in those markets. And, it didn't work out, which that's great because it gave us some opportunities to learn. It gave us opportunities to continue to develop the product to kind of make that next leap.
So let's talk a little bit about one of your products, Store Pulse, which your website claims is a real-time retail performance management dashboard. So what does it actually measure, and how is that information used by one of your clients?
So Store Pulse is like you said, just a live scoreboard for your stores. So it's bringing together your sales, traffic, labor, all real time. So on the side of your device, however you're looking at it, it's gonna, a store manager would see their store, a district manager is going to see their district, and so on. But you're able to pull it up at any time, and we can tell you if your store opened late. We can tell you who's on their break. We can tell you where are they at on their shift. Are they helping you or hurting you? Because we can bring in that sales data, so we can tell you kind of like what's their gross profit number looking like for the day. So you can actually have that real time conversation. I know in my prior life of coaching and developing, we've had several opportunities where you go to do that midday check-in, and people haven't performed, and you just have a simple conversation on, hey, maybe their cat ran away or whatever. You let them vent to you a little bit, and then sales pick up. But we wanted to give that information to the managers to be able to coach and develop on the spot. So it's the goal is not to overwhelm people with the features. It's really to remove the friction so managers can focus on leading teams and driving sales.
So I'm behind the counter, or I'm a store manager. Is Big Brother watching? Is that how some people feel?
I don't think it's necessarily that Big Brother's watching because, we're just tied into the point of sale and we're tied into the traffic data. So we're just getting live feeds from there. So I don't think it's necessarily that, we're Big Brother necessarily, but we are the time clock. So we have a couple measures, we have a couple measures that reduce time theft, like break compliance forms, auto clock out forms, just trying to keep our operators safe in these highly complex and compliant states.
So obviously, everybody in the organization, from the top all the way down to the people behind the counter, they know the system's in place, correct?
Absolutely. We're currently a mobile app, so the hourly associates actually use us to punch in and out. They actually use us to be able to see their schedule, and then on up, leadership has dashboards to be able to see kind of how things are trending, what break compliance looks like, and other features. So absolutely.
In today's version of it, is it just getting information, or is there a feedback mechanism that the associate in the store or the manager can reply back with, oh, this isn't right, or hey, this was great, or is there some sort of a two-way dialogue going on with the data?
Yeah, absolutely. We're always open to feedback in regards to the data. But typically since we're pulling directly from the dashboards of the point of sale or traffic, typically any discrepancies kind of go that route before they get fed into ShiftLab.
Are there any other innovative products that ShiftLab offers?
Absolutely. So, outside of the profit-driven automated scheduling and the Pulse, we actually had a customer that came to us that was really struggling with time management. So we decided to build our own time clock. And as we started looking into those things, we wanted to build tools that take heavy lifting out of the compliance piece. So things like break tracking and auto clockouts and overtime monitoring. So we just started to factor in real world signals that impact retail in a big way. Like if John and I are working together and I call out, John comes to cover, our system can recognize that, hey, John's here early, let's let him punch in. But if I'm trying to punch in 30 minutes early, the system's going to say, Ryan, you can't clock in for five more, until 5 minutes before your shift. So just, reducing simple things like time theft. And the customer that came to us, we helped jump their break percentage from the low single digits to the high 70s, which actually equated to about a $50,000 savings in 1 month just in break opportunities.
So what I'm hearing then is that if a customer comes to you with a specific issue that they're trying to resolve for, you will do customized work that's not in your current toolbox.
We love to scope and talk and see if it's something that, is kind of worth building. Odds are if one wireless retailer is dealing with it, the rest are. So we like to be helpful in that journey.
You just got back from the All Wireless and Prepaid Expo, and I have to do a shout out to Robin, Tobias, and Lisa for putting on another. I don't know if this is 17 years or 18 years, just another tremendous show. Sold out. The buzz was phenomenal. You were there. What'd you think of the show?
It just gets better every year, honestly. It always feels like it's the Super Bowl of wireless. Something that stood out to me this year was just how collaborative the space is. So everyone just sharing ideas, looking for new ways to simplify some processes, drive profits. I remember walking the sales floor and just seeing dealers and partners and vendors all kind of having the same conversations, pulling in the same direction. How do we make it less complicated, more rewarding? Being in the conversations reminded me of how much opportunity we still have in the industry to continue to raise the bar.
And what were some of ShiftLab's accomplishments out there? Did you sign X amount of new clients? Did you learn something? Were you asked to do something that was outside the norm? What were some of the things that you guys came home that you were happy about?
Definitely a good week for us. We had a couple great partner conversations to continue to drive, our awareness. ShiftLab's a small team, so continue to get our name out and grow awareness. So a couple partner conversations that will help with that. We actually have a pretty great contract in place with Cricket Wireless to where we're in all of their stores. So just getting out there and driving awareness with, like Boost and T-Mobile and Metro and those guys. So just getting it in place there. And we were we were invited to a master dealer summit because they think there's a massive opportunity for us to continue to drive some profits in some of the way that their stores are being managed. So yeah, it was a really great week.
Well, all the people you mentioned do watch the Boon of Wireless or listen to the Boon of Wireless. So hopefully they'll take your words and say, hey, how come we're not doing this? Okay. Any other shows that you'll be attending this year?
We will actually be at the IQ Metrics Summit in Carlsbad, California, October 19th through the 21st. That event's always a great chance for us to connect with some wireless leaders and really dig into kind of their thoughts on where the industry's headed. And a lot of folks in this space were already looking forward to the Consumer Electronics Show. It's just such a big stage, and we love going with some of our partners, Rebiz, Hirewell Now, TrackPoint, Arcade. Those partnerships highlight how collaborative the industry is. And for us, shows like that are not necessarily about the booths. It's more about just going and listening and learning and finding out how we can continue to develop the product that solve the everyday problems.
I see you have a webinar coming up entitled the Launch Effect: Trade and Labor in Wireless Retail on Wednesday, October 1st at 1 p.m. Eastern. What can I expect to learn and hear on that?
This is going to be a unique webinar. We're doing it alongside one of our partners, ShopperTrack. So with ShopperTrack, the data they have is gold, and as we layer that into ShiftLab, that's how we start creating these sales optimized, customer focused schedules in seconds. So this particular session, we're going to walk through how it works in real life, how operators are cutting their waste, improving coverage, boosting profits, by connecting their traffic and labor more intelligently. I mean, even if you're not using ShiftLab or planning to use ShiftLab, I strongly suggest it because there's a lot of strategies that you could take away and apply right away, honestly. So
we're about just under a month away from that. Is registration open yet?
Yeah, so registration is open, free to register. You can register on our website at shiftlab.io, or you can visit me on LinkedIn. Again, my name is Ryan Esteb, and I can definitely help you get registered for the event.
Well, Ryan, exciting stuff and things that people that walk into a retail location to shop are probably not aware of how efficient the people that are serving them and waiting on them and helping them with their wireless transactions, how well they are situated during the busy hours and when promotions run and all that kind of stuff. That's a great concept. So congratulations to you and everybody at ShiftLab. Anything else you want to share with our audience? This is your time.
I'd like to say, at the end of the day, ShiftLab was built by people who sat in the same seats. Devin, Sean, myself, the rest of the ShiftLab team, we've all been in the wireless industry. We know how much time gets lost in spreadsheets and manual tools. We know what it feels like trying to play catch up. So, like I said, if anything you heard today resonates, just check out our webinar or connect with me directly. Like I said, even if you don't use ShiftLab, you'll walk away with some ideas that'll make running your business just a little easier.
And who doesn't like free advice?
And now, a brief message from our sponsor.
Consumer Cellular. Andrew, have you heard about their new service as an MVNO enabler?
Of course, John.
Of course, everybody has. Introducing Enabler IQ, an MVNO operation for the 21st century with expanded strategic collaborations and partnerships with Amdocs and accelerated AI-driven NVNE capabilities. Enabler IQ is built on the back of Consumer Cellular's success as an MVNO with over 4 million subscribers and now with over 50 retail stores. So leave all the back-end stuff to the pros. With Enabler IQ, you can easily streamline MVNO onboarding, automate your operations, have full supply chain capabilities, comprehensive business reporting, plus advanced AI to deliver a personalized customer experience. So visit enableriq.com or email the team at info@enableriq.com and learn more about setting up your own MVNO with Consumer Cellular's MVNE offering. Ryan Esteb from ShiftLab coming to us from the Heartland in Indiana. I really appreciate you taking time today and educating me and hopefully our listeners and viewers on how your product and your company can help drive profitability and save money on a lot of the things that we discussed. So, Brian, I look forward to seeing you shortly. Maybe I'll see you out at IQ Metrics. And if not, we'll definitely see you later on in the year. I want to thank everybody for their continued support of the Boon of Wireless podcast. Please subscribe. It's free, and we can't do better than free. So I hope everybody had a great summer. We're gearing up for the fourth quarter right now, and should be another wild and successful time period for all of us in this wireless space. So that's going to wrap up another episode of the Boon of Wireless podcast. And as always, we'll see you next time. Do you want to be a guest on the Boon of Wireless podcast? Give us a call at 908-THE-BOON. Yes, 908-843-2666.